Hey, wait a minute. This isn't the typical content I produce. This isn't a VOD from a game or a talk show. What's happening? Is this edited content? Well, guess what? You're right. Also, quit judging me. Seriously, stop it. I'm trying, okay? But for those of you that are curious, I was invited into an interesting project. More importantly, a project that I feel like a lot of people would enjoy. And that is DungeonJam. I was invited into DungeonJam. And this DungeonJam was specific for a 5-room dungeon. And I just so happened to have made one. And it took me a bit. I procrastinated a lot. A lot. So, without further ado, I might as well get into it. See, what I designed was it's an adventure that I would run. One that would be in my setting, because I'm an improv guy. I don't do prep. I never do prep. I hate prep. Prep's not fun for me. Prep's never been fun for me, because I feel like I'm putting myself in a box. But I figured I would make something that kind of helps me. It has a little bit more leeway. Gives me more room in the sandbox. And at the same time, gives the players a bit more choice. So, I have it to where you start out in a tower. In my setting, I have a bunch of towers. All of these towers, upon completing them, grant you boons, usually in the form of marks, but you can also win equipment. And with that, this has it to where the party wakes up, not knowing where they are, but they can surmise that they are trapped in a tower, a sentient hyper dungeon. And with them being trapped in this dungeon, they are surrounded by 4, line. Okay, let me look here at my notes. All right, fuck that up. Yeah, all right, you do that. Fine. Hey, Hey, hold on. No, wait, no, you back off. Wait, you just back the fuck off. I swear, I have it like right here. It's so difficult to go and do this. I never do this type of stuff. Hold on, let me know. Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. I think I got it. So you are surrounded by 4 statues. Each statue has a door, and each door is specific towards a particular kind of room. These are meant to give hints as to what is in the next room, so then the players can situate themselves. Now, as part of the DungeonJam prompt, we needed to make a 5-room dungeon that could be effectively any level. I made it to where this can be ran as an 8th level adventure for specifically 5e, as that was the easiest one for me to set up at such short notice, because I procrastinate just like most other people. But anyways, you start out in this massive area, a verdant ruin with sunlight piercing through mana-constructed clouds. The stones are warm to the touch, and the sounds of wildlife are distant but present. There are 2 massive statues and 2 sets of stairs. Between the legs of the statues are stone doors with pictures carved in them. The same can be seen with the sets of stairs, as they too have a door at the top with pictures carved in them. There's no particular order. These doors have to be picked, but once a room is entered, it cannot be left, as the door will disappear for them when they enter. It will only reappear when the room is completed. And with that, I don't have this in any particular order. I don't have it in what would be considered the correct order, but I have it in an order. This document's not big. It's about 6 pages. So bear that in mind. Let's move on to what the next room would be. So this room is a door that had what was depicted, a priest that is... let's just go and say the priest himself is singing amongst a choir of peasants. But in general, this room is just filled with light. It's a grand cathedral. It's a stark contrast to the ruins that you were leaving. The high ceilings with Gothic architecture gives this grandiose chamber an imposing presence. The pews are empty. The sounds of your footsteps echo, and the depictions of unknown figures in stained glass are all you can focus on at this time. And as the party explores the room, they will see that there is scripture strewn about as you are to piece together what the scripture is. There are 13 pieces total, and all of it is involving this journey of one of the cultures of my setting, of the Balaran, where they had 13 evil dragons that existed and were destroying the world. They need to set this in a cohesive manner, using investigation checks, insight checks, perception checks, and performance or religion checks. They were able to, in the end, succeed. But let's illustrate. Not really illustrate. Let's solve this. Line. Okay. Each time it is failed. Yeah. Is that? Oh, I guess it is right. Yeah. Oh God, these allergies. Oh. Okay. All right. I think I'm composed. I am composed. All right. So you bring all the stories together to make it consistent. As all the scripture is brought together to make it consistent, you will have to read them out. You can either do a performance or religion check for this, as you will be performing a sermon. If you are a dragonborn at base, which would be technically a Balaran in my setting, you get to do this at advantage, as this would be tied to your culture's religion. Each time you fail, the lights in the room will grow darker and darker. This can only be failed 3 times, and you have to succeed 9 times. If the room falls into complete darkness, then the party takes 1d6 necrotic damage each round until they read the scripture correctly. The scripture reads of 13 devilish dragons that destroyed the landscape of the world, all siblings crafted for war and torment. It was only when the immortal dragonkin of the world came together and used their faith to seal them away. It is with this that the Dragonborn sing hymns of this act by their ancestors. And after the scripture is performed, the angel's wings will wrap around itself as the light from the windows all turn to encompass the angel in light. This is the portal to go back to the ruins the party had left. The individual that succeeded on the performance or religion check will receive a boon of healing word 3 times per day. That's actually pretty good. That's pretty damn good. Yeah. That's right. I got it right. Yeah. Okay. Alright, so this was now. Alright. Man, I really hate the cold. I know it's getting warm out, but what the... This is the Room of Freedom. Oh, I didn't read what the last one was. Room of Oppression. This one's the Room of Freedom. Yes. Look at all that freedom. Aiden. Snow. Like room of depression. As you enter into the door of the hunters trekking through the wilderness, you feel a wave of bone-chilling cold overcome you. Snow crunches under your feet and wind howls through the trees as you see a frozen path ahead of you that leads into the thick fog. The creaking of branches and the absence of any other sound makes the atmosphere eerie and unsettling. This is an evergreen forest. It's surrounded by fog. It's difficult to see through, and the temperature seems to drop by a degree every few minutes. And by the way, this is set so then you can go and be, well, those of you that use Fahrenheit and those of you that use Celsius. Currently, the temperature would be feeling like 27 degrees Fahrenheit or -2 degrees Celsius. You're welcome. Every 5 degrees, the temperature drops. The party needs to make a Every 5 degrees, the temperature drops. The party needs to make Constitution checks at DC 10, or else they take a point of exhaustion. When the temperature reaches 0 degrees Fahrenheit, -17 degrees Celsius, then it will be every 1 degree it drops. They have to make a Constitution check. God, was that so hard? What? Was it? Okay, well, that was a lot of words. What are you talking about? It's always a lot of words. You're a DM. This is kind of like your thing, and you're already messing it up, dude. What the? So the DM's note that I went and I put for this is that this room is just an incredibly simple solution, and that's just follow the path into the fog. That's all you gotta do. It's a room about blind faith. All you have to do is just make 3 DC 12 survival checks to successfully make it out, but if you succeed 3 in a row, you'll find yourselves back in the ruin. The person that succeeds on the survival checks will receive a boon from this room, granting them resistance to 1 element of their choice. And honestly, if they said the element of surprise, I would give it to them. I don't know why. Because I'm funny. So this one's a boss fight. This is the Room of Rituals. Now, this one has a creature in particular that I named a Shroud Saint. We'll get to that. But as you enter a room where the door had a commoner surrounded by darkness, you feel this intense sense of unease as you see that the area is floating within a void speckled with stars and alien energies. You also notice that in the center is a large stone platform with runes carved around the outside. Round the outside, round the outside. Work, work, wah. Work, 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 wah. I'm hip. You're ungrateful. I'm funny, dude. Buddy. This platform is surrounded by 4 statues of robed figures holding massive swords. As they venture deeper into the area, the sounds of chains rattling and the sense of foreboding invades their minds. Yeah. This is your first trip into Costco. So with Arcana checks, you're able to see that the area itself disrupts magic and causes leveled spells to fail half the time. This does not cause a spell slot to be lost, though, which is nice. However, the stone platform seems to be a powerful seal for something that lies underneath it. This is meant to keep something powerful at bay, and if someone were to disrupt the circle with a casting of a leveled spell, it may release whatever's trapped beneath. Now, if the circle is disrupted, what emerges is a massive shadow entity that is wrapped in runic badges. Oh my god! Wrapped in runic bandages. I can talk. I speak. This is a Shroud Saint that is meant to either be resealed with a new ritual at a DC 15 Arcana or Religion check, or the party defeats it. The Shroud Saint is bound to the center of the circle, but it will target spellcasters first, because spellcasters are its weakness. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Now, let's go and pull up this thing's stats. So Shroud Saint is meant to be a gargantuan celestial. It's chaotic evil. It has a pretty alright AC. Has pretty substantial health, but it can't move. It's bound in place. Now, of course, its stats kind of indicate that it's going to beat the hell out of anything that's pretty close to it. More importantly, yes, it is vulnerable to radiant damage. It's resistant to non-magical weapons and necrotic damage. As a matter of fact, it's actually immune to necrotic. I don't know why it says it twice. I thought I fixed that. Well, never mind. You can go and deal with that little typo. But it's also immune to prone, restrained, and incapacitated because, yes, its speed is 0, does not mean that you are able to restrain it as easily. Dark vision 60 feet, passive perception 12, all that jazz. It's CR 10. It's meant to be a boss fight. You're a party of effectively level 8s. You should be able to handle this. Should. It's gonna be hard, but you should. Now, have it to where it has the Shroud Saint's Omen. When in the presence of the Shroud Saint, the entire battlefield is encompassed in its aura. The Shroud Saint's Omen bestows curses upon all creatures. At the beginning of each new round, a DC 13 charisma saving throw needs to be made, or else you will have to choose one of the curses it can bestow. If you have all the curses, then you automatically receive the Death Curse. Now, of course, I went and I made a curse her. So let's see here. Crushing Curse. The Crushing Curse causes all physical damage you receive to be doubled. Curse of Shadows. Curse of Shadows causes you to phase in and out of existence. This makes physical attacks have a 50% chance of failure. So any physical attack you make, there's a 50% chance it doesn't work. Curse of Isolation. The Curse of Isolation causes your vision to be cut to 15 feet, and when you can't see any other creatures, you take 1d4 necrotic damage. Then we have Curse of Chaos. Curse of Chaos puts you under the effects of the Confusion spell. And Death Curse. You are immune to all healing spells and abilities. When you make death saving throws, they are at disadvantage. When you die, you can't be resurrected/reincarnated. Now, this thing does have a base slam. It deals okay damage. It's not the best damage, but it only gets like one of either of these. So it allows you to have a chance to be able to properly defeat it. Runic Wrappings. Range is 30 feet, plus 7 to hit, 1d6 plus 2 crushing damage. And if it hits you with it, it's able to grapple you. Grapple creatures take 1d4 plus 4 crushing damage. Every turn, they don't break free from the wrappings. It does have a legendary action that allows them to shift terrain. And with this, it's able to go and move things as it pleases. This includes creatures. The Shroud Saint swaps the positions of 2 creatures. The Shroud Saint can only swap the positions of creatures that share a curse. The whole entire goal of this creature is to give everybody at least one curse and then start moving the spellcasters closer to it so it can slam them and grapple onto the spellcasters if they find a way to get away. That's all it's aiming to do. Of course, the spellcasters can always just make that religion check to reseal it. And if they manage to reseal it, then you're good to go. You can also just defeat it outright, which isn't the hardest. Honestly, it's kind of set to be defeated either or. But when it's defeated, you're able to leave. No boon gained, but you do get experience. If you operate off a milestone system, you get a pat on the back. And now we have the Room of Oppression. Now, this one's a bit different, as this one is meant to be wave combat. Now, as you enter the door depicting a wizard's tower being sieged by an army, you feel humidity in the air. Then the smells of burning oil, verdant foliage, and wet cobbles all grace you at once as you bear witness to what looks to be a lush garden with pyres burning around full of water. Now, of course, if you make a DC 13 perception check, in the distance you can hear yelling, screaming, and shouting. There's even the distinct sound of arcane blasts and the breaking of windows. The more the party lingers, the more the flames in the basins begin to rise and become erratic. If a party member puts out a flame, then an area... I could talk. How did you mess up saying arrow? How did you mess up saying arrow? How can you mess up saying arrow? How did I mess up saying arrow? How? If a party member puts out a flame, then an arrow will be fired at that party member. That is when the horde arrives. This horde will be coming from the bottom of the stairs in waves. There are 3 types of enemies: casters, archers, and soldiers. Each other round, add 1, 2, and 3 of any combination with these enemies. An example that I have is Wave 1 can be 1 caster, 2 archers, 3 soldiers. Wave 2, nothing spawns in, as you were to go into this every other wave. Wave 3, 1 soldier, 2 casters, 3 archers. You can alternate it. The party's meant to put out the flames. Each time they successfully extinguish a flame, they will skip the next wave of enemies showing up. They are to survive until the end of wave 10, or if they extinguish all the fires. Now, let's just go and say you do this to wave 1. Wave 1, you put out a flame. Well, you still only get a caster, like off of the prior example, a caster, 2 archers, and 3 soldiers. Wave 2 would have already been skipped. So now you skip wave 3. Put out another fire. Now you skip wave 4. If the party is diligent enough, they could just skip all future waves and only deal with 6 enemies. Or they completely miss it and they make it all the way to wave 10 and they've dealt with way too many enemies. About 30. Which is a lot. But I made it to where the enemies aren't that bad. They kind of have more support roles, very low health, okay AC. The attacks aren't even that bad. Just overall, they're meant to control and surround each other, as well as narrow in on certain party members, which allows other party members to target them. So if the party is cohesive and is willing to work together, they can easily trounce this fight. But all you have to do is put out fires. And that isn't as hard as you think. I never counted how many are here. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh wow, there's 13, huh? Neat. 13 fires. That's... wow. Neato burrito. Next room. Oh yeah, it's done. Huh. Well, let me just scroll on down to this so I can show you. Freedom at last. So with the rooms completed, the tower greets you with disdainful praise. It tells you how it wished you would have perished so it could feast upon your mana and equipment to make you into its next rewards for another room to test adventurers. But it's a tower of its word and reveals in the center of the room a fountain to drink from, as it will manifest one. Upon imbibing from the fountain, the party will receive marks on their bodies. These marks are living tattoos that allow them to learn a spell from any school up to their current level, as if they were a caster of that level. Example being a fighter with this mark that was level 6 could learn any spell from any school as if they were a level 6 of any spellcasting class. They only can cast this spell once per week. You know, to prevent things from getting a little haywire. As the party begins to leave through one of the doors, as they are all open to the outside, the tower has given them something extra. In their packs are preserved fruit spreads that glow with arcane sigils. These spreads act as cure moderate healing potions if ingested. It is a DungeonJam 2025. You are allowed to clap. Clap. I'm not seeing you clap. I said clap. Now, of course, I do have a disclaimer that I do not own the rights to any of the maps depicted, as they are the intellectual property of the map makers. If you wish to support them, I highly recommend it. I am not sponsored by these wonderful folks, but they make products I highly enjoy. Now, of course, I was brought into this by quite a few people. Well, brought into this by one person in particular. Thank you, HauntieAuntie. Really appreciate you, bestie. But this was organized by... Well, let me go get the list. All right, so people that are credited are Daddy from Mystic Arts, AB at Mystic Arts, and Knigobi, as well as Lunatic Dice and Tanner from PaladinProse. All of them are the ones that honestly did a lot of legwork for this. They did a fantastic job for this, and I'm thankful that they were accommodating for me to be able to be a part of it as well, among a bunch of other talented TTRPG content creators. I'm not big time by any means, but the fact that I was allowed to be involved in this and invited into this means the world. I was able to talk with some of these folks, and they're genuinely wholesome people, and I highly suggest that you check out anybody who has submitted for DungeonJam. A lot of them are incredibly talented and driven. More talented and driven than I, but nonetheless, I am going to save the self-deprecating humor for on stream, as now I'm going to be on the side of directing you towards... Wait, hold on. Oh, yes. Okay. Yep. Okay. Towards the DungeonJam playlist that is... Where is that? I've never had to go and point this out before. Hold on. Wait. Is it up here? It's probably up there. Or wait. Is it? It's probably like right here. And then recommended videos right there. But more importantly, check out over here or over here. I don't really know where the playlist is going to be marked. But I want to say thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for entertaining my content. If you have any suggestions, because I'm not good at this one bit, please provide them in the comment section below. If you do like this video, of course, I can go and give the typical YouTuber spiel of like and subscribe. Share it with your friends. Or, better yet, let this inspire you. Be better than me. Make your own dungeon. Make it 5 rooms. Make it interesting. Do something with it. I want to see it. I know other people want to see it. Produce content. Make people happy. Run games. Inspire others. Let the imagination flow. But with that being said, thank you all so much. Bye, everybody.